Hello, I'm Richard with EV4U Custom Conversions. And today we're going to talk about something that's kind of got a multitude of applications, let's say. So this is going to be more addressed to those that are going to be traveling off-grid and camping out in a national forest or BLM land, or even in a trailer park. It doesn't matter. The point of this is going to be that this is going to be a deterrent, a warning system, whatever you want it to be, in a security or anti-theft aspect. And so in general, when we talk about anti-theft, there's not much that's theft proof. And so, you know, a determined thief can get into your house, get into your trailer, get into your car. Pretty tough to stop. But it's about deterrence. And so what I'm going to show you today is a circuit that you can use as part of your layer anti-theft setup. Because how do you deter thieves? Well, the best option, best method is the layered method. So you have different layers of protection to discourage or to warn others that, this activity is going on, such as an alarm system on your car or your home, and notify others around, that kind of thing. And nowadays you can have it notify you on your phone. So anyway, just different layers. And I'm going to show you just a couple quick things with the travel trailer that will give you, for instance. And then I'll show you this little circuit, which, these are things I designed when I was in high school. I've always been interested in electrical mechanical things, and so I used to come up with all sorts of different little circuits, and simple. That's the beauty of them. They're very simplistic, and so I'll share that with you in just a moment. So we were talking about layers. So there's the trailer entry is locked. There are cameras to prevent the trailer itself from being stolen, a hitch lock, boot on the wheel. There's a heavy cable through the wheels. So each one of those is a layer. And so, a guy might, pry off that boot somehow, but then he's got to deal with the hitch lock. Then after he deals with that, he's got to deal with this cable. And then the alarm is motion activated. And so they try to, jack up a wheel, or to, they move the hitch height. When this goes, so far off a level, it triggers my alarm. So just layers is what we're talking about. And what I'm about to show you is just another layer. And it's a layer for things that maybe you don't have as many options for. Maybe you only have 2 layers, like a chain or a cable, and then what I'm going to show you. So this is just a seed that I'm going to show you that hopefully will plant, plant a seed that you can then come up with your own ideas using the same principle. Here's how to protect those loose items like I was talking about. The solar panels sitting out on the ground, barbecue, whatever it is that you leave out because of the inconvenience of having to pull it in at night. Here's a way to notify you that an authorized person is making off with your stuff. And it's quite simple. You're going to need a couple switches, single pole, single throw switches. You're going to need a single pole, single throw relay, and a horn or alarm siren or something like that, and a fuse. Okay? Very simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a wire, and depending on the length that you run that wire would determine what gauge you would use. But you could use somewhere between 18 and 14 gauge wire would be fine for most cases. Because all this wire, and the wire I'm talking about is this one, the loop that goes through your items you're looking to protect. So you're going to take a wire and you're going to run that wire through those items. So if they're chained or cabled, you would weave it through the chain, wrap it around the cable, whatever, so that it's an integral part, so that they can't make off or cut the cable or cut the chain without cutting the wire. Okay, that's the whole thing. They're going to break this loop. And so when you wire this up as shown here, here's our relay, your battery. So we're going to go from the positive side of the battery to a switch, and then the normally open side of that switch is going to go to that loop. Okay, and then the other side of that loop is going to go to one side of the coil on your relay, and of course the other side is going to go to ground. So when you're arming this thing, there's a sequence. You're going to close switch 1 first and switch 2 second. Switch 2, the common goes to, again, your positive of your battery, and the normally open goes through your switch to the common on the relay, and the normally closed on the relay is going to go, and I misspoke earlier, this is a single pole double throw relay. It's going to go from the normally closed to your horn or siren or whatever alerting device. Could be a light. Maybe you just want a light to come on so you can go out there and holler at somebody or something. But anyway, that then is grounded on the other side. So what happens is somebody is attempting to take your items, and they cut or tear that wire. Because you're going to have a couple of connectors so that you can remove this wire from your alarm circuit. But anyway, as soon as they open this up, because when this is closed right here, I was showing this. When you close this switch right here, what happens? Well, this goes here. Okay? So the only load you're going to have is the little bit of milliamps, the draw on your relay coil, depending on the size of the relay you use. So back to what I was saying, as soon as they cut that wire, that relay is de-energized. And you're going to have this scenario. And of course, if it's armed, this is supposed to be closed in too. So power is going to come through here and activate your horn. Very, very simple circuit. And then once they run off, you open switch 2, and that turns off the horn. You open switch 1, make your repair, you're back in business again. So to show this another way, this is just my crude little schematic for you. Let me show it to you in a little different fashion. I'm going to show you a little different thing on the whiteboard here in a moment, but just showing you can weave a wire through the chain. You can take and wrap it around a cable. You can just run the wire by itself. Whatever you choose to do. I recommend using black because it just isn't as noticeable. But no matter how you do it, they don't know what you have in store for them, and so they're going to yank that thing, break that wire, cut that wire, whatever. But as soon as they break that circuit, you're going to know. So here it is using a standard automotive relay, and you can see it's a single pole double throw relay. And so the standard, and again I'm talking to American audiences, I don't know if this is an international standard or not, but the labeling standard that I'm familiar with here in the US is your common is 30, your normally closed is 87A, normally opens 87, and one side of the coil is 86 and the other side is 85. So just like I showed in the other schematic, we've got the two switches. One is to energize that relay. So we close switch 1, that energizes the relay because it's the coil. And then when we do that first, that relay is going to latch or close. Then when we do this, close switch 2, we put power here, but there's no power. You know, it would be going to 87, which we're not connecting anything. I'm just giving you the idea. What you do with this, you know, is wide open. There's a lot of variations here. But bottom line is, when that loop is broken, some kind of alert goes off, and you know, and you can take whatever action you want. Well, that's it for today's video. Like I said, I hope that kind of stimulates some thought and you come up with some of your own ideas. Perhaps if you think you have a good idea you'd like to share, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. Appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe, and hope to see you next time.